September 10th, and I got a call for one of my customers that he has a water leak, water dripping from a light from the ceiling. It's coming from the second floor ceiling, but there is a washing machine and dryer above that area, so we'll have to go there and scope it out and see if we can locate the leak. If we can't locate the leak above the floor, we'll have to cut the ceiling open and see what's going on with that. I'm not bringing my crystal ball to this job, so we'll see what happens. One way or another, we'll do what I got to do to fix the job, get the guy going. All right, stay tuned. Hey guys, I'm at this house here where the guy's complaining about water dripping from the light. You can see the edge is kind of stained up there. I just dumped a bucket of water. It was full of water. We'll have to go see what's upstairs above us here. Alright guys, we're gonna wash and dry here. Pull this little stand out. I'm gonna see if there's any water on the floor here. I'll see what's going on. If any of these connections are leaking here. Get my little light. That looks good. Come on. Fucking light. I don't see any water on the floor at all. Everything looks fine here. I don't see anything. Heater, this all looks good. Obviously this unit should be in a pan on the second floor here, but it's not. It's all tile floor, so if there was any water up here you would see it. It's gonna be in the wall somewhere or in that ceiling. Something underneath this thing. See nothing. I don't see no water. Looks dry to me. I'll have to open up that ceiling, see what's going on. Obviously, looking at this here, it looks like the wet spot is really the biggest spot is right here. Along that, looks wet. And then it would travel over to the light and then out, obviously. But I'll open up an area with my little keyhole saw in there somewhere. See if I can see the leak. Let me get my ladder. I have my 6-foot ladder in the truck here. This is a little spot I have for it. If I gotta get the ladders off the roof and outside, I got my little ladder right here. So this shows you how tall my truck is. It's probably like 6 foot, 6'7". So I got no problem walking in this truck. This is a nice work truck. I ain't gotta worry about bending over like a van or anything. I could walk right in here and do my thing. But that's where I keep my ladder. Back there I got all my belts and stuff, different size belts I need. That's when I built this truck, I designed it to accommodate, what I do, and I needed a spot for the ladder. I got all my panning in there, sheet metal panning. It's got the little groove on it, the little S groove or S-lock groove. If I ever need any sheet metal for panning in furnaces and stuff. Alright. Let me set this ladder up inside and cut that hole. I got these painting cloths I have in my truck. I got a couple of different ones. I like to put this down so when I cut that into that sheetrock, if it falls on the floor, it's not gonna make a mess. And I got my little sheetrock keyhole saw I'll use. This is what I use. I like to cut it by hand, just in case if you hit any wires, you're not gonna cut through the wires type of thing. I always do it by hand. Alright, let's get to it. Alright guys, you can see this is just soaked. Flipping soaked. See what I mean by the wires? You cut that with a sawzall, you would have cut right through them wires. That's why it's good to do it by hand. This thing is soaked. Look at this. This is flipping wet. Something's definitely leaking. I'm gonna chase it out and try to find it. Might be in that corner more. Look at all them wires. This thing is just really bad. It's soaked. I got some plumbing here. It's just wet. Pull it right down by hand. He's gonna have to redo all this. He knows that anyway, so I'm not too concerned about that right now. I just want to find a leak, and the insurance company will come in and pay for all this. Something's gonna be flipping leaking in here. This thing's flipping soaked. I don't see any drips. Unless it's right here. A little bit more. What's this old? Unless this washing machine overflowed. I had asked him about that, but what a flipping mess. Wow. I can hear something running. Here's something hissing. You hear it? Something's hissing. Alright guys, it looks to me like it's leaking right from this copper pipe here. Right above where these screws are. See these screws here? That's what it seems like it's leaking to me. I don't see any other piping anywhere could be leaking from. So what I'm gonna have to do is shut the water off, and this is M tubing. You can see it's got the red letters on it. That's the thin wall shit. I'll cut a section out of there and take a look at the pipe. But I'm thinking that them screws might be just going through that fairing just enough to have worn that copper pipe out. That's where it's dripping from, right there. I looked up on top. I don't see it running down anywhere. Dripping right there. That's what I'm gonna do. We'll shut the water off and we'll open that up. Yeah, when I'm done, obviously I'll clean up this mess and stuff. This stuff is just soaked. It's flipping soaked, see it? Stuff's heavy, heavy, heavy. It's all wet up there. It's all gonna dry out. We cut that out of there. Shut the water off. Alright, so I got the water main off in the basement. What I like to do is I'll open up a faucet on the first floor so all the water will drain the first floor, and I'll go up to that second floor and open up that wash machine valve with some air in, drain the water down. Second floor, give it sucking in air, drain all the water out. On this I could just, like I'm gonna do a load. Warm, cold. Warm will be hot and cold, and then they'll let air in to drain that line out. And I'll be able to cut it and work on it. As long as it's not holding a vacuum, I gotta get rid of the water in that line. Alright guys, I cleaned the copper. I'll make a cut here. I cleaned the copper with the sandpaper, which only makes sense. Clean it there, and I'll clean it there, and I'll cut a section out, and I'll put a new piece of pipe in there. My little general cutter. It's a little midget cutter. It fits right in there nicely, and that'll cut it nice. So while these cutters wear out, you could change the blades on them, but usually you just chuck them. They're like $15 a piece. They're like spring loaded in there. They work pretty good. Obviously, when they get old, the wheels get bound up, and the blade kind of gives away. So that piece right off of there, I'm through basically. Let's see the blade starting to get worn on that one. I'll use it for a little bit longer. You grab this with your pump pliers if you have to too, and it'll work. I'm curious to see what that pipe looks like on top of that nail. I think that's what it is. Obviously this guy's gonna have to let this sheetrock all dry out good, and a lot of it's gonna have to be replaced, I'm thinking. Since I shut the water off, that drip stopped. Let me get my pump pliers. There it is. You see it? Where the screws have been hitting? Well, I gotta catch that water. Hang on a minute. That's why I got the bucket here. See right where it's been scraping. See it right there? Where them screws were sticking through and it was hitting? Son of a bitch. Yep. That sucks. That's where they put them screws right where the pipe was. That's something. Alright, we're slowing down here good now. Put the bucket right there. See where my finger is? Right there. There was one screw, and there was the other screw. So obviously I'll take them screws out, and I'll put some metal. I got some metal. Basically we use them for like finish in houses. If there's a pipe that's against going through the stud, they're called nail plates. I'll put a couple of nail plates across there after I do this repair. And then they can't put screws through the nail plates.
take them 2 screws out. Get that water out of there if we can.
Alright guys, my I got all different drawers for different fittings, but this is some of my 1/2 inch. I got couplings in here, street 45s, regular 45s, but what I wanted to show you is this is what they call a jet coupling. I'll use this on one side, it's got a bleeder on it, and I'll use a regular coupling on the other side. So when I do the soldering, I'll take that little cap off. So if there's any steam in there or any water, it'll steam out this area, and I'll be able to solder the pipe. Then once it's done, I put that cap back on. That's what they call a jet fitting. I got 90s, I got couplings. Like this is a they call a jet coupling. I got 1/2 inch, 3/4, different sizes. They'll save you a lot of aggravation when you're soldering. Alright guys, and this is what we call the nail plates. Basically, if you got pipe going through a wall and they're going to be sheetrocking, you always put the nail plates wherever they could put a screw through the pipe. This way here, when they sheetrock, they come along, they can't put a screw through that. So that's what they should have used up there, and we wouldn't have had this problem, but I'm going to install them now. Alright guys, if you look at this, has got the red lettering on it. This is M tubing. This is thin wall. And you can see how thin that is compared to this is L. This is blue. This is what I would use, and this is the M. It's half the wall thickness. So can you see the difference? It's only a couple of years that they were allowed to use the M tubing on water pipe in my state. You can see where it was bad right there. Look at that, from rubbing. So I'll replace it with the L tubing. I'll cut it using my little number 15 cutter. This cuts faster. I use the little one if I'm in a tight spot, but this is always, my go-to cutter. Obviously, I'll clean this and I'll put it up in there and do my soldering. See if I can bring you with me. It's kind of a tough area here to be filming. I'll try though. I'll try my. We'll try it. Not easy. Well, as long as there's plate where you can move the pipe, you can use regular couplings. But if you can't move the pipe, you got to use what they call a slip coupling, which I have in the truck. It's got no shoulder on it, so you could slip it over. Alright, so you take the cap off. The cap and the gasket off. So if I solder this and it makes steam, it'll blow out there. Then when I'm done, I can put the cap back on. So I'm gonna attempt to solder that now. See if I can get it. Hang on. Let's see if I can see if I can film this. We'll try.
Alright guys, bear with me. I'm trying soldering it up now.
Probably going to be some water in there, so I don't have to steam it out. Steam coming out of there? I didn't have that, it'd be blowing the solder right out. See it coming out? Yep.
Obviously, I'll put my strips along here. Let that cool before I put that that bleeder cap back on. Got it right there. I'll let it cool a bit. Let me put the nail strips on there. Alright guys, I got the nail plates on there. You can see now, even if they put their sheetrock, they can't put no more screws into my pipe. So that's good. Usually you only put one, but that's a little bit wider, so I went with a double. And I'll put my cap back on, tighten it up, and turn the water back on, see if I got any leaks. Yeah, look at the flipping mess. I'm gonna have to clean all this up. Not bad. That's why I put the drop cloth down. It won't be that bad to clean up. This stuff will all wipe up okay with a rag, but let me turn the water back on. Obviously, you want to open up some faucets on the first level, so if there's any water leaking, it'll drain on the first and there won't be any on the second. Only makes sense. Alright, turning the water back on again. Crack it, let it fill till it stops, and you can open it up all the way. I know they got a lot of pressure here, and if you just open this thing wide open, you're putting a lot of pressure. Say if you've got 80 pounds of pressure here, that's a lot of pressure. If you open it slowly, especially if it's an old system, you're always better off. See what they got here. Oil-fired boiler with 2 zones. And an oil-fired water heater. You guys from down south never see oil. Well, got oil here, see? Get all the air out, first floor. We know we got water up here now, so. Alright guys, check for leaks. You see my solder joint there, and my solder joint there, and no leaking. That's what it was. So all you gotta do is just pick up this mess and clean this mess up, and I'll be on my way to my next job. I'll give you a little picture when I get it all clean, so you know I'm not a slob. Alright guys, I get it all picked up. I'll leave this rug rolled back, just for the sake of, leaving it rolled back. That's why I had that penis top with me. Folds up nice in the truck. I got a couple of them. They don't take up any room. And what I did over here was, I left a little note with my letterhead. I left the screws in the pipe, 2 screws through Ferrin, and rubbed hole in pipe half the time. Cut out and installed new pipe and nail plates. This way the insurance company can see that. And this is definitely an insurance claim. what happens in my state is whatever damage the water does, they won't pay to repair the pipe. They won't pay for the plumber, but they will pay to, you know, redo the sheetrock. And I'm sure there's money in that to cover my expense. I wasn't here that long, maybe an hour and a half, something like that. Not long. But at least with this hole open, that all that can dry. If not, it's gonna get all moldy. I already talked to the guy. He's gonna have this all cut out and replaced. Get the insurance company, you know, it's probably way back. He's gonna have to cut quite a bit to get all that moisture out of there. Let it dry for, you know, a week or so, and it should be good. So I'm done with this job. And just to recap, never use a Sawzall when you're cutting into sheetrock. You see those wires? If you used a Sawzall, you would have cut right through those flipping wires, guys. Never. Always use a little handheld saw. Always. This way here, you're not cutting through any wires or pipes or whatnot. Okay? Alright guys, my time actually, to drive here and to do the job and clean up, it was 2 hours altogether, so I don't think that's too bad. 2 hours. Not bad at all, considering. Alright, thanks for watching.